Okay, so the orchid that we have for our orchid in review for today is a very special orchid to me because this is one that actually came from our rescue haul from Craigslist. If you remember a couple of months ago where I did show you guys that video, and if you didn't, you can click right here and it'll take you to that video now. And this humunga dunga wunga of a species, cattleya, is known as the bowringiana, which is native to Central America, growing in the countries of Belize and also Guatemala. This is quite an aggressive grower, and growing in its natural habitat, this can actually get about 3 feet tall and clumping into such a massive size. So you indeed have to have enough space to grow this type of orchid. One of the best features about the bowringiana is the fact that it is so easy to care for and also so easy to grow. You can actually find these in nature growing on rocks, also as terrestrial orchids growing in soil, and also as an epiphyte growing in trees and other vegetation. So indeed, these can practically grow anywhere and within any type of media. Some growers actually say that there is no special care tip for this type of orchid. They simply just grow. So that tells you just how easy these bowringianas can be grown. And in actual reality, the hardest, most challenging part of growing this orchid is probably finding enough space, for the fact that the orchid pseudobulb actually grows so lengthy and so tall, as you can see right here, growing to almost 3 feet tall. And one of the things that I do love most about this orchid is the fact that it is an autumn bloomer. So when most of your orchids are fizzling out or have already faded, this right here will keep the blooming party going. Now, I do gotta tell you that the bloom potential on this orchid is really quite impressive, because this orchid right here can bloom between 5 to 10 blooms, but on a more mature growing orchid such as this one right here, it can actually bloom between 20 to 30 blooms, as you are seeing right here, and that's per spike. So indeed, this orchid has flower power for days and is quite tremendous in its blooming potential. Now, the bloom size on this cattleya is actually pretty small in comparison to some of your larger blooming orchids. This flower is actually about 2 to 3 inches in diameter, but because the potential of so many blooms on one spike and within this nice bouquet and cluster of blooms, it still is quite a showy orchid. Now, believe it or not, there is a downside to this orchid. And the downside would be the fact that there aren't too many varieties of the bowringiana. The ones that you will commonly see is this magenta color, a lavender color, and also a cerulean variety. But that's about it. And another drawback, believe it or not, there's one more, is the fact that they are not fragrant. But that's quite alright. The bloom potential more than makes up for that. And let us go ahead and take a closer look at these blooms. As you can see, just a nice amount of blooms right here. And taking a close look at the actual bloom itself, you will see that in the petals it is a very solid and uniform color. That very beautiful lavender, magenta pink color. And then if we take a closer look within that throat area, you will notice that very clean and pristine white that is haloed around with a very dark, deep purple color. Indeed, a nice fusion and combination within this flute-like lip and throat area. So beautifully colored, just such a delicate and elegant cluster of blooms right here. The potential of the blooms of this orchid is really quite impressive. It has tremendous flower power. This is an orchid that blooms near to the end of the year and really starts off the holiday celebrations. But in actual reality, when you see these gorgeous blooms, this within itself is its own holiday celebration, and indeed quite a festive celebration. And there you have it, folks. That is a complete bowringiana wrap. I thank you guys so much for tuning in to this orchid in review, and I hope you did like this video. If you did, please be sure to like, share, and also subscribe. Also join me on Facebook, and as you guys already know, I truly do love and appreciate you guys all. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys later, and I'll also grow with you guys later as well. Bye-bye for now. Mwah.